Dear students, this discussion will be about immunomodulators. Immunity is a state of relative resistance to the infection. Immunomodulators are active agents that modulate, that means to induce, enhance or suppresses the immune response. So in this discussion we will see about few agents that induce or suppresses the immune response. Immune responses includes discrimination between self and non-self and the destruction of infectious invaders and dysregulated self. Tumor is an example of dysregulated self. Immunity is broadly divided into innate or natural immunity and adaptive or learned immunity. Coming to the components of immune system, innate immunity contains complements, granulocytes, monocytes or macrophages, natural killer cells, mast cells and basophils. Adaptive immunity contains B and T lymphocytes, antibodies, T helper cells, cytolytic cells and suppressor cells. Our immunomodulators, they act by modulating the responses of these components. Our discussion will be about immunosuppressants, immunostimulants and a few points about another concept, immune tolerance. First we will see about immunosuppressants. Immunosuppressants includes glucocorticoids, calcineurin inhibitors like cyclosporin and tacrolimus, mTOR inhibitors like sirolimus, everolimus, anti-proliferative drugs like azathioprine, methotrexate, cyclophosphamide, chlorambucil, mycophenolate mofetil, and biological agents. The biological agents are tumor necrosis factor alpha inhibitors like infliximab, adalimumab, etanercept, interleukin 1 receptor antagonists like anakinra, interleukin 2 receptor antagonists like daclizumab, basiliximab, anti-CD3 antibody is muromonab, and polyclonal antibodies, which includes anti-thymocyte antibody and anti-D-immune globulin. Coming to glucocorticoids. As you know, glucocorticoids are potent anti-inflammatory and immunosuppressant agents. We have different members in this group. For example, prednisolone, betamethasone, dexamethasone, etc. They act by suppressing multiple components of the immunity, especially the cellular immunity. Glucocorticoids bind to their intracellular receptors, leading to the regulation of gene transcription, which is essential for various components of immunity. They lead to the following changes in the immune system. Glucocorticoids reduces peripheral blood lymphocyte count by breaking down as well as redistribution. They impair the activation of nuclear factor kappa B, which leads to apoptosis of the activated immune cells, leads to downregulation of interleukin 1 and 6, inhibit the T cell proliferation as well as reduces the chemotaxis of neutrophils and monocytes. As immunosuppressants, glucocorticoids are useful in acute transplant rejection, graft versus host disease in bone marrow transplantation, autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, SLE or dermatomyositis, and the allergic conditions induced by other immunosuppressant agents. The common side effects are avascular necrosis of bone, osteoporosis, hyperglycemia, hypertension, risk of infections and cataract. Next group is calcineurin inhibitors. They are also known as specific T cell inhibitors. They target the intracellular signaling pathways, thus they blocks the induction of genes which are needed for the transcription of cytokines. They selectively inhibit cell mediated immunity and their effect on humoral immunity is very less. We have two members in this group, cyclosporin and tacrolimus. Cyclosporin and tacrolimus are structurally different and these two agents binds to two different intracellular targets, but they exhibit a common function. Cyclosporin is a cyclic peptide obtained from a fungus Beauveria nivea, selectively inhibit T cell proliferation and also the production of interleukin 2 and other cytokines. Coming to their mechanism of action, in cell mediated immunity there will be interaction between antigen presenting cells and T cells at two different sites. The first is between the receptor of antigen presenting cell and between T cell receptor, and then between CD80 and 86 of the antigen presenting cells and CD28 of the T cells. So the binding of antigen presenting cells with T cell receptor leads to activation of T cell receptor, which leads to increase in the levels of intracellular calcium. This increased levels of calcium activate calcineurin, which is an intracellular protein which is a calcium dependent phosphatase. This activated calcineurin, which leads to the dephosphorylation of another intracellular target known as NF-ATC. NF-ATC is nuclear factor for activated T lymphocyte. This activated NF-ATC goes into the nucleus, which leads to the activation of certain genes which are responsible for the transcription of cytokines like interleukins, and which leads to the production of interleukin 2 mRNA and production of interleukin 2. So our agents cyclosporin and tacrolimus act in this pathway. They bind to two different intracellular targets. For example, cyclosporin binds to cyclophilin and tacrolimus binds to FK binding protein. Both these agents goes and inhibiting the activation of calcineurin. So activation of calcineurin is not taking place. So there won't be any activation of NF-ATC or activation of genes responsible for cytokine production. Cyclosporin can be administered via oral as well as IV route. Food delays its absorption. Cyclosporin is metabolized by cytochrome P3A4, so there are chances of drug interactions with cytochrome P3A4 inducers and inhibitors. It is having a half-life of around 24 hours and excreted mainly through the bile. Cyclosporin is used in organ transplantation, autoimmune disorders like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, Crohn's disease, and graft versus host disease. The common side effects associated with cyclosporin are renal failure, hypertension, gum hyperplasia, hyperuricemia, hirsutism, and hyperlipidemia. Next is tacrolimus, also known as FK506. Tacrolimus is a macrolide obtained from Streptomyces. It is more potent than cyclosporin. It has similar mechanism of action as that of cyclosporin, but binds to a different intracellular protein, that is FK506 binding protein 12 or FKBP12. Oral and IV administrations are possible. Food decreases its absorption. Extensive hepatic metabolism is there and is excreted through bile. Tacrolimus has a half-life of around 12 hours. Tacrolimus is used in solid organ allograft rejection, and a topical preparation is available which can be useful in atopic dermatitis. The adverse effects are nephrotoxicity, neurotoxicity, hypertension, hyperglycemia, gastrointestinal disturbances, opportunistic as well as secondary infections. Moving on to next group, mammalian target of rapamycin or mTOR inhibitors. The drugs are sirolimus, everolimus, and temsirolimus. Coming to sirolimus, sirolimus is a macrocyclic lactone which binds to a intracellular target FKBP. This target is different from the target of tacrolimus, and the complex, that is sirolimus FKBP complex, binds and inhibits the mTOR, which leads to inhibition of T cell proliferation. mTOR is a kinase involved in the cell cycle proliferation as well as progression. Normally, interleukin 2 comes and binds to its receptor, leading to the activation of mTOR. The activated mTOR increases translation of selected mRNAs that promotes the transition of cells from their G1 to S phase. This process is inhibited by mTOR inhibitors. So, drugs like sirolimus binds to FK binding protein FKBP, and this complex inhibits the mTOR. By inhibiting the mTOR, there will be inhibition of the mRNA translation, which leads to arrest of the cell cycle of T cells in their G1 phase. Sirolimus is administered through the oral route. This drug is metabolized by the cytochrome P3A4, so drug interactions are possible. Fatty food decreases its absorption. Elimination is mainly through the biliary route and is having a half-life of around 60 hours. Sirolimus is mainly used in the prophylaxis of organ transplant rejection, and it can be incorporated into the coronary stent to prevent the restenosis of coronary arteries. The adverse effects are hyperlipidemia, leukopenia, anemia, thrombocytopenia, and GI disturbances. Everolimus is chemically and clinically related to sirolimus but is having a shorter half-life, which is around 40 hours, and it requires short time to reach the steady state concentration. Next group is anti-proliferative or anti-metabolic drugs. The main members are azathioprine, methotrexate, mycophenolate mofetil, cyclophosphamide, and chlorambucil. Azathioprine is a purine antimetabolite. It has potent immunosuppressant and anti-tumor action. It is selectively taken up into the immune cell and is getting converted into the active metabolite 6-mercaptopurine or 6-MP, and it inhibits the purine synthesis, which leads to the inhibition of differentiation and functions of T cells and natural killer cells. This 6-MB later converted into 6-thiouric acid with the help of xanthine oxidase enzyme. And azathioprine has certain drug interaction with allopurinol. Allopurinol is a drug useful in the treatment of gout, which act by inhibiting the xanthine oxidase enzyme. So, if you give allopurinol along with azathioprine, this allopurinol inhibits the conversion of 6-MB to 6-thiouric acid, and 6-MB will be accumulated. So, in order to avoid that, the dose of azathioprine should be reduced. Azathioprine is used to prevent organ transplantation rejection and in rheumatoid arthritis. The common side effects are bone marrow suppression, hepatotoxicity, and pancreatitis. Next we have mycophenolate mofetil. This is a prodrug and it should be converted into its active form mycophenolic acid by hydrolysis to be active. This mycophenolic acid acts by inhibiting the inosine monophosphate dehydrogenase enzyme. This IMB dehydrogenase is essential for the synthesis of guanine nucleotides in the T and B lymphocytes. So, the synthesis of purines are inhibited in the lymphocyte, which leads to inhibition of differentiation and proliferation of lymphocytes, and also leads to the inhibition of antibody synthesis as well as cell-mediated immunity. Mycophenolate mofetil is completely absorbed following oral administration. This drug is metabolized by glucuronidation and is excreted through urine. It is having a half-life of 16 hours. There is decreased absorption when this drug is co-administered with magnesium or aluminum containing antacids. This mycophenolate mofetil is used in organ transplantation and steroid refractory autoimmune diseases, and it leads to GIT disturbances, leukopenia, red cell aplasia, and certain infections like cytomegalovirus infection. Methotrexate is a folate antagonist. It has immunosuppressant and anti-inflammatory activities. It decreases cytokine production, thereby suppresses the cell-mediated immunity. It acts by inhibiting the dihydrofolate reductase enzyme, which converts the dihydrofolic acid to tetrahydrofolic acid. Tetrahydrofolic acid is essential for the synthesis of purines. So, by inhibiting this dihydrofolate reductase, methotrexate inhibits the formation of purines. It also inhibits thymidylate synthase, which is essential for the DNA synthesis. So, methotrexate affects the DNA synthesis also. It can be administered through oral, IV, and intrathecal routes. 50% of the drug is bound to plasma proteins. This drug is largely excreted unchanged through the urine. The common toxicity manifestations are bone marrow suppression, megaloblastic anemia, diarrhea, and mucositis. Methotrexate toxicity can be decreased by the administration of folinic acid. And the drug interactions: salicylates, sulfonamides, dicumarol, they displaces methotrexate from the protein binding site, so which may lead to increased free form available in the blood, so toxicity can be precipitated. The main use of this methotrexate is in autoimmune diseases. Cyclophosphamide, it is an alkylating agent, forms DNA crosslinks which leads to DNA damage and cell death. Active metabolites of this compound are aldophosphamide and phosphoramide mustard. They destroys rapidly proliferating lymphoid tissue, especially the B lymphocytes. The route of administrations are oral and IV, and the common toxicity manifestations are cystitis, alopecia, cardiac and bone marrow toxicity. Cystitis is due to acrolein, which is a metabolite of cyclophosphamide. The common uses are lymphomas, breast and ovarian cancers, and autoimmune diseases. Chlorambucil, another alkylating agent, forms DNA crosslinks, leads to DNA damage and cell death. The toxicities are bone marrow depression, nausea and vomiting. The uses are chronic lymphocytic leukemia and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Moving on to biological agents. These are biotechnologically produced recombinant proteins or polyclonal or monoclonal antibodies that are directed against certain cytokines or lymphocyte surface antigens. These lymphocyte cell surface antigens or cytokines play a key role in the immune response. The biological agents are anti-thymocyte globulin, monoclonal antibodies, which includes anti-CD3 monoclonal antibody like muromonab, anti-interleukin 2 receptor antibody like daclizumab and basiliximab, anti-CD52 antibody alemtuzumab, and tumor necrosis factor alpha inhibitors like infliximab, adalimumab, golimumab. Interleukin 1 inhibitors like anakinra, canakinumab, and rilonacept, and LFA inhibitor, that means lymphocyte function associated antigen inhibitor like efalizumab and alifacept. Anti-thymocyte globulin or ATG. They are polyclonal antibodies purified from the serum of rabbits or horses immunized with human thymic lymphocytes. This ATG deplete the circulating lymphocytes by direct cytotoxicity, which is mediated by both complement as well as the cell-mediated responses, and block the functions of lymphocytes. These agents are mainly preferred in acute transplant rejection and also in organ transplantation. The toxicity associated with this ATG are hypersensitivity reactions, risk of infections, and malignancy. Next we have anti-CD3 monoclonal antibody. The drug is muromonab CD3, which is a murine monoclonal antibody binds to the CD3. CD3 is a component of T cell receptor complex involved in antigen recognition, cell signaling, and proliferation. So binding of this muromonab CD3 to CD3 prevents the subsequent antigen recognition, and there will be rapid internalization of the T cell receptor. Both of these things leads to decreased or blocked immune response. Muromonab is preferred in the treatment of acute organ transplant rejection. Its use is associated with a toxicity known as cytokine release syndrome. This is due to the release of certain cytokines like interleukins, tumor necrosis factors, or interferons. It manifests as high fever, chills, tremor, myalgia, headache, arthralgia, or weakness. It can be prevented by the pre-treatment with steroids. Next is anti-interleukin 2 receptor antibodies or anti-CD25 antibodies. Two agents there, basiliximab and daclizumab. Daclizumab is a humanized antibody, basiliximab is a chimeric antibody. CD25 is present on the surface of activated T cells. These agents binds to the interleukin 2 receptor on the surface of activated T cells, which leads to blockade of interleukin 2 mediated T cell proliferation and differentiation. The route of administration is IV. The T half of daclizumab is around 20 days and that of basiliximab is 7 days. The main use is prophylaxis of acute organ rejection, and the toxic manifestations are anaphylaxis and certain opportunistic infections. Next drug is alemtuzumab. Alemtuzumab is a humanized monoclonal antibody which targets the CD52. CD52 is expressed on lymphocytes, monocytes, macrophages and natural killer cells. Alemtuzumab leads to extensive lympholysis, so there will be prolonged depletion of the T and B lymphocytes. It is used in renal transplantation as well as in chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The side effects are anemia and neutropenia. Coming to anti-TNF alpha antibodies or TNF alpha inhibitors. TNF alpha is a cytokine which is produced by the activated macrophages and other immune cells. TNF alpha goes and binds to the its receptors on the neutrophils, endothelial cells and fibroblasts. This TNF alpha exaggerates the immune response by release of certain other cytokines as well as synthesizing certain enzymes like metalloproteinases or collagenases. So by inhibiting this TNF alpha, we can reduce the immune response. So the drugs are infliximab, adalimumab, certolizumab pegol, golimumab and etanercept. They target the TNF alpha. Their main uses are Crohn's disease, rheumatoid arthritis, seronegative spondyloarthropathies. The adverse effects associated with these TNF alpha inhibitors are reactivation of latent tuberculosis and increased risk of malignancies. Next is interleukin 1 inhibitors. Interleukin 1 activates the helper T cells and induces the production of other interleukins and metalloproteinases. So the inhibitors are anakinra. Anakinra is a recombinant human interleukin 1 receptor antagonist used in rheumatoid arthritis. Next drug is canakinumab. It is a interleukin 1 monoclonal antibody used in cryopyrin associated periodic syndromes and is evaluated for the use in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Next drug is rilonacept. It is a fusion protein that binds to the interleukin 1, useful in gout. Coming to lymphocyte function associated antigen inhibitors. First is LFA1 inhibitor efalisumab. It is a humanized IgG1, targets the CD11 chain of lymphocyte function associated antigen 1. It prevents the interaction of LFA1 with ICAM. ICAM is intracellular adhesion molecules. So from this picture we can see that the LFA and the ICAM. So it prevents the interaction between LFA1 and ICAM. So it blocks the T cell adhesion, activation and trafficking. The uses are organ transplantation as well as in psoriasis. Next drug is alifacept. It is a human LFA3 IgG1 fusion protein. LFA3 is lymphocyte function associated antigen 3. It blocks the interaction between LFA3 of antigen presenting cell and the CD2 of T lymphocyte. This alifacept is used in psoriasis and transplantation. The remaining biological agents are omalizumab, tocilizumab, ustekinumab, eculizumab and palivizumab. Omalizumab is a humanized monoclonal antibody which prevents the binding of IgE to its receptors on mast cells and basophils, used in steroid refractory asthma. Tocilizumab is a recombinant humanized IgG1, binds to the interleukin 6 receptor, used in refractory rheumatoid arthritis. Ustekinumab is a human IgG1 monoclonal antibody, binds to the interleukin 12 and 23, used in moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Eculizumab is an IgG monoclonal antibody, binds to the C5 complement, used in paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. Palivizumab is a monoclonal antibody that binds to the fusion protein of respiratory syncytial virus. So it prevents the respiratory syncytial virus infection in the neonates. Moving on to immunostimulants. Immunostimulants includes levamisole, thalidomide, BCG, recombinant cytokines like interferons and interleukin 2, and immunization. In immunization, there is active and passive immunization as well as anti-D immune globulin. Levamisole was developed as an anti-helminthic drug but was found to have immunomodulatory roles. It restores depressed immune functions of B and T lymphocytes, monocytes, and macrophages. Now, this levamisole is used also as an adjuvant agent with 5-fluorouracil in colon cancer. It produces the side effects like agranulocytosis, dizziness, and gastrointestinal disturbances. Thalidomide was an effective drug in the management of morning sickness in pregnancy, but it produced certain teratogenic effect. The teratogenic effect produced by the thalidomide was phocomelia, so the drug was withdrawn from the market. Later, it was reintroduced due to its immunomodulatory properties, but this drug is contraindicated in women of childbearing potential. The immunological effects of thalidomide may vary in different conditions. It probably acts by suppressing or modulating certain cytokines, for example, tumor necrosis factor alpha or interleukin 2. Currently, this drug is used in erythema nodosum leprosum of leprosy, multiple myeloma, and autoimmune diseases. The side effects are teratogenicity, peripheral neuropathy, and constipation. Next is lenalidomide. It's an immunomodulatory derivative of thalidomide. It stimulates T cells and natural killer cells, inhibits angiogenesis, promotes hematopoietic stem cell differentiation. The main use is transfusion dependent anemia, and it leads to thrombocytopenia as well as neutropenia. Bacillus calmette-guerin or BCG. BCG is live attenuated culture of Bacillus calmette-guerin strain of the Mycobacterium bovis, mainly used for the immunization against tuberculosis. It induces granulomatous reaction at the site of administration. It also has certain anti-tumor activities, but the mechanism is not clear. The uses are treatment and prophylaxis of the carcinoma of the urinary bladder. Very rarely it produces hypersensitivity reactions and immune complex diseases. Interferons are antiviral agents with additional immunomodulatory activities. Interferon gamma 1b used in chronic granulomatous disease, and this interferon is contraindicated in idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Interferon alpha 2b is used in hairy cell leukemia, malignant melanoma, Kaposi sarcoma, chronic hepatitis B and C. The adverse reactions are flu-like symptoms, hypotension, arrhythmias, CNS depression, and confusions. Next agent is aldesleukin. It is a recombinant human interleukin 2. It enhances the cellular immunity. Aldesleukin enhances lymphocytosis, eosinophilia, release multiple cytokines like tumor necrosis factor, interleukin 1, interferon gamma. The uses are metastatic renal cell carcinoma and melanoma. Its toxicity mainly affects the cardiovascular system, and it manifests as capillary leak syndrome and hypotension. Coming to immunization, active and passive immunizations are there. In active immunization, stimulation with an antigen to develop immunity against future exposure or infection. Examples are measles and diphtheria. In passive immunization, preformed antibodies are administered. Anti-rabies vaccine and hepatitis B are the examples. Next agent is anti-D immune globulin. These are antibodies against Rh antigen on the surface of the RBCs. Rh negative women may be sensitized to the foreign Rh antigen on the fetal RBC. This leads to the development of anti-Rh antibodies in the mother that can damage the subsequent pregnancies or fetuses by lysing the RBCs. Anti-D immune globulin prevents the development of these anti-Rh antibodies in the mother. So the use of this immune globulin is in hemolytic disease of newborn. Coming to immune tolerance, it is an active state of antigen-specific non-responsiveness. In this process, body naturally resets the immune system, stop mistakenly attacking its own organs or cells in autoimmune disease, or accepts foreign tissue in organ transplantation. This concept is still experimental. Immune tolerance has two more concepts: co-stimulatory blockade and donor cell chimerism. Coming to co-stimulatory blockade. Actually, when antigen presenting cell comes and binds to a T cell, there should be two signals to activate the T cell. First is between the antigen presenting cell and the T cell receptor. Second is between CD80, 86 of the antigen presenting cells and between the CD28 of the T cells. Then only T cells become activated, which leads to proliferation and cytokine production. So imagine in a situation where the second signal is blocked. So there will be no activation of the T cells, no cell division and no cytokine production. So this is the co-stimulatory blockade. Two drugs, abatacept and belatacept, act by the co-stimulatory blockade. Abatacept competitively inhibits CD28 used in rheumatoid arthritis and transplantations. Belatacept is a second generation agent having more potency. Belatacept is used in maintenance biologic therapy in renal transplantation, and the common adverse reactions are more chances of infections and post-transplant lymphoproliferative diseases. Next is donor cell chimerism. It means coexistence of two genetic lineages in a single individual. At first, dampen or eliminate the immune function with ionizing radiations, drugs or antibodies, then provide a new source of immune function by transfusion of stem cells. The recipient recognizes new antigen provided during a critical period as self. So, immunomodulators means immunosuppressants, immunostimulants, and the drugs producing immune tolerance. That's all about immunomodulators. Thank you.